Hello students, in our previous session we have learnt regarding the topic that is Human Genome Project. In this session we are going to learn about the topic that is DNA fingerprinting. Now you know that each organism has a specific genetic makeup. Now the genetic makeup of an individual is called as genotype, and the external appearance of an individual is called as phenotype. So the genes which are present in the organism, the genes determine inheritance of characters. That means the genes are transferred from one generation to another generation, and due to these genes the organism develop particular characters. It is called as gene expression. Then you know that gene is a part of DNA, or it is a segment of DNA. Then there is difference between the parents and their offsprings, or there is also difference between the offsprings, and these differences may arise due to mutations. Now you know that mutations means the change in the genetic makeup is called as mutation. So during the process of cell division and formation of gametes, the mutations may occur. Then each organism has unique genetic makeup. That means the newborn young ones are not similar in genetic makeup. Then they are different from their parents. So each organism has unique genetic makeup. That means no two individuals have similar genetic makeup. Then to identify a person with DNA restriction analysis is called as DNA fingerprinting. Now DNA restriction analysis means the DNA samples are collected, then they are cut into small fragments, then they are analyzed. Such technique is called as DNA fingerprinting, and DNA fingerprinting was first developed by the scientist or the geneticist called as Alec Jeffreys in the year 1984. So he developed the technique of DNA fingerprinting. Each organism has unique genetic makeup, and the organism can be identified on the basis of its genetic makeup, and this process is called as DNA fingerprinting. As like you know that the fingerprints of each person is different from another person. So like that the DNA of each person is different from another person. So to identify the person with the help of his DNA or genetic makeup is called as DNA fingerprinting. Then DNA fingerprinting involves the identification of nucleotide sequences on DNA. Now you have already studied the structure of DNA. DNA consists of two antiparallel polynucleotide strands, and there are sequences of nucleotides, and these sequences of nucleotides are based on the sequences of nitrogen bases. So DNA fingerprinting involves the identification of nucleotide sequences on DNA. In human being, there is a similarity between the DNA of the different persons it is about 99.9% of DNA is similar in all human beings, but only there is a slight difference. So every person shows unusual sequences, and these sequences are about 20 to 100 base pairs. These sequences repeat at regular intervals and they may repeat many times. So such a repetition in the base pair or nucleotide sequences is called as variable number of tandem repeats. In short, it is called as VNTRS. And these VNTRS, that means variable number of tandem repeats, means the base pair sequences repeat many times and they are of different length, and no two person will show the similar length of this VNTRS. So they are of different lengths in different persons. So due to this feature, that individual has unique genetic makeup. So DNA fingerprinting is one of the technique used to study as well as to identify the genotype as well as the genetic makeup of an organism. Now we will see the different steps in DNA fingerprinting. Now the first step is isolation of DNA. So for this purpose, a suitable sample is selected from the host. Now the sample may be a blood sample, then it may be cells from the root of the hair or cells from the tissues of the skin. So such sample is selected, then from this sample the DNA is isolated. It is called as isolation or extraction of DNA. So the sample is collected and from this sample the DNA is separated or extracted and it is purified. Then in this isolated DNA, restriction digestion is carried. Now restriction digestion means the DNA is cut into small fragments with the help of enzyme called as restriction enzyme. So here we can see restriction digestion. So the isolated DNA is then cut into small fragments. The process is called as restriction digestion, and then this DNA is converted into small fragments, and this technique or process of converting of DNA into small fragments is called as restriction fragment length polymerization, or in short it is called as RFLP. So the technique of converting the DNA into small fragments is called as, in short, RFLP. Then the next step in DNA fingerprinting is gel electrophoresis. So the collected fragments of DNA are then subjected to the technique, that is electrophoresis. Here we can see these DNA fragments are subjected to the process, that is electrophoresis. Now in DNA fingerprinting, gel electrophoresis technique is used. So for this the gel used is agarose gel. This agarose gel is obtained from the substance called as agar-agar. So when the process of electrophoresis is conducted, as you know that DNA is negatively charged. So this negatively charged DNA fragments move towards the positive pole, and during this movement the double stranded DNA is converted into ssDNA. That means it is converted into single stranded DNA. The next step in the process of DNA fingerprinting is Southern blotting. Now we have seen that the DNA fragments are subjected to electrophoresis. Then after electrophoresis, the DNA fragments are transferred to membrane or a filter paper called as nitrocellulose filter paper. And on this nitrocellulose filter paper, there is presence of a gel. Now, this nitrocellulose filter paper soaks or absorbs the gel and the fragments get attached to the filter paper. So, it is called as Southern blotting. In Southern blotting, the DNA fragments are placed on nitrocellulose filter paper over a gel and soaking it. That means the filter paper absorbs the gel and the DNA fragments get attached to the filter paper. Then the next step is selection of DNA probe. Now DNA probe means it is a single stranded DNA. It is called as DNA probe. So after Southern blotting, the selected single stranded DNA probes are then transferred to the technique of hybridization, or the step of hybridization is carried. Now in this step, the single stranded DNA, it is either prepared by cDNA method. cDNA means complementary DNA method. Now complementary DNA means the DNA can be prepared from the RNA by the process of reverse transcriptase. So such DNA which is produced from the RNA is called as complementary DNA. Then such DNA is labeled by radioactive isotopes so that we can identify the initial DNA. So this DNA is labeled with the help of radioactive isotopes or obtained from organism. That means either the DNA can be prepared by complementary DNA technique or either it can be obtained from a organism. So it depends upon the process for what purpose the DNA is to be utilized. So after Southern blotting, the DNA fragments are selected which are single stranded, and it is called as, or these fragments are called as DNA probes. Then these DNA probes are labeled by radioactive isotopes. The next step in DNA fingerprinting is hybridization of DNA. Now after Southern blotting, the hybridization process is carried. So the selected single stranded DNA probes are again placed on nitrocellulose filter paper and the host DNA is added. Now we have seen that the DNA probes may be selected from an organism, or these probes may be prepared by the technique of cDNA, that means complementary DNA technique, on which from RNA single stranded DNA is produced. So such method is called as cDNA. So the DNA for hybridization may be produced by cDNA method or it may be selected from an organism. So such DNA is called as DNA probe and it is single stranded. So these DNA probes are added to nitrocellulose filter paper plus host DNA is also added, and then these DNA probes pair with DNA of host, or they get attached with each other. Now you know that the two DNA strands are held together with the help of weak hydrogen bonds. So weak hydrogen bonds are developed between the probe DNA and the host DNA, and a new DNA is produced. It is called as hybrid. Why it is called as hybrid? Because it contains two different strands from two different organisms or species. Hence it is called as hybrid DNA. Then after hybridization, the step carried is photography. So after the hybridization, the unwanted DNA fragments are removed and only the desired hybrid DNA are kept on the nitrocellulose filter paper. So the nitrocellulose filter paper is photographed, or the photograph of it is taken with the help of X-ray film, and this technique is called as autoradiography. That means the nitrocellulose filter paper which contains hybrid DNA is photographed on X-ray film, and the technique is called as autoradiography. So these are the different steps in the process of DNA fingerprinting. Now we will see the applications of DNA fingerprinting. The first application is forensic science. Now forensic science deals with criminal laws, and during the investigation of some difficult murder cases or to find out criminals, DNA fingerprinting technique is used. The samples from the crime scenes are collected and then analyzed for DNA samples, and accordingly the criminals are detected. Then second application is to find biological parent, that is to find the biological mother or father of the child by using DNA fingerprinting technique is carried. Then the third application of DNA fingerprinting is pedigree analysis. In pedigree analysis, the effect of genotype on phenotype is studied from generation to generation, or you know that gene develops particular characters in an organism. So the phenotype of an organism is studied by considering its genes, or it can be used in different kinds of animals like cats, dogs, horses, or even pedigree analysis is used in human being to study the effect of genes on the phenotype from generation to generation, or to study the gene expression, and it is carried from generation to generation by different charts. It is called as pedigree analysis. So here we have completed the chapter number 4, that is molecular basis of inheritance.